Are they just trying to hurt you by moving on so quickly? Or was it easy for them to start a new relationship so fast because they really didn't care about you? What should you do when your ex moves on so effortlessly? While the Bible doesn't give us an answer to this direct question in a direct way, Scripture gives us so many useful, powerful principles that we do have everything we need to get through any type of relationship situation that we're going through. Therefore, here are 4 things you can do that would be a biblical response when you feel like your ex has moved on too quickly. Number 1, if you feel like your ex moved on too quickly, then resist the urge to respond. In the steps ahead, we're going to discuss some things you can do to really help yourself and ease that pain. But the first step is to not make the pain worse by responding in an unwise way. Proverbs 29:11, a fool gives full vent to his spirit, but a wise man quietly holds it back. Our natural response when we're dealing with something stressful is, what should I do? But oftentimes it's more helpful to ask, what should I not do? When you're in doubt and you just are stressed, you're emotional, you don't know what to do, usually the right response is to remain silent. This is especially true when you're dealing with a situation with someone that you're not really in a relationship with anymore. So when you deal with this issue with words, you just often make the wounds even worse because it's a no-win situation. You don't have any control over this person. They don't have any control over you. So it's like entering into quicksand. The more you struggle in this situation, the more movements you make, the deeper you end up sinking. The responsibility you two once had to each other is no longer present. By doing anything, you are entering a battle that shouldn't even be fought, thus you will always lose. So you don't want to text them, you don't want to tell someone that you're hurting, that you know will relay the message to them. You don't want to rebound date out of revenge to get back at this person. Rather, you want to spend your emotional energy controlling yourself, not doing anything. Because once your emotions finally do cool down, you'll be really thankful that you didn't make the situation worse. Number 2, when you feel like your ex has moved on too fast, change your perspective to see that this is actually good and not bad. So rather than spending your emotional energy on trying to do something with this person, your ex, or with this situation, we want to make the circumstances outside better. But really, again, that's often a losing battle. So you want to spend most of your energy on your perspective, because with a perspective change, which you actually have control over, you can end up getting the same results that you really want, which is to feel better about this and not be hurt anymore. So essentially, probably the 2 biggest perspectives we have about a situation is 1, this is bad, and 2, this is good. So instead of cataloging all the ways that this situation is bad for you, you want to spend emotional energy seeing how this is actually good. For example, my ex moving on so fast is good because now I know we are truly done, and I don't need to wonder if we should get back together. My ex moving on so fast is good because now I know their heart was not that serious about me, and I would never want to be with someone who wasn't serious about me. My ex moving on so fast is good because now I know this person was eager to be with someone else, and I would never want to be with someone who was eager to date someone else. So the truth can be very painful, and I'm not saying you want to just ignore your pain, but wouldn't you rather know the truth even if it is painful? You don't want to live in a false version of reality. So by this person moving on quickly and too fast, then you are getting information that you didn't have before. If they didn't do this, you might have a false idea about this person's feelings towards you, or about the future, or about what the relationship used to be. But now the truth has come out, and even if it's painful, you rather know the truth. Psalms 32:8, I will instruct you and teach you in the way you should go. I will counsel you with my eye upon you. While this type of situation can hurt, God is showing you the truth about this old relationship through your ex moving on so fast. Number 3, when you feel like your ex has moved on so fast, this is a sign you need to release them from your heart. What is moving on too fast? A month? 6 months? A year? So if we took a poll, there would be varying answers. It's a very subjective feeling. So the real reason you feel like your ex has moved on so fast or too fast isn't because of the actual objective timeline, because again, that's a variation. We could all say something different about what's too fast or what's not too fast. And so really the issue is that you still have some sort of connection to this person in your heart. Proverbs 4:23, above all else, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it. This command is directed at us. Only we can guard our hearts. We have to choose who we let in and who we remove. We can't defer this responsibility onto someone else. So, for example, let's think of a hypothetical situation. Let's say in a year, your ex moved on and started dating someone else. And you're fine with that. That seems like an appropriate amount of time, and so you feel okay. But again, that's not because the year is the issue. It's because at that time, your heart has moved on. You've let that person go. So let's say 3 months have gone by, but you still have let that person go. Now you still feel okay about it. And it doesn't have anything to do with 12 months or 3 months. It's that your heart has let that person go. All that to say, when you feel your ex has moved on too fast, this is simply a sign you have not fully released them from your heart. Technically speaking, your ex has zero obligation to you, and you have zero obligation to them. There's no such thing as moving on too fast from an objective reality. Feeling someone moved on too fast is only a subjective opinion. Now, I'm not saying your feelings aren't valid. I'm not saying that you're wrong for feeling hurt if this person moved on so quickly. I'm just pointing out the solution. It doesn't have anything to do with time. The solution is really a heart issue that you need to spend your energy on. Which brings us to point 4. When you feel like your ex has moved on too fast, you have to accept and remind yourself that this person is not the one. So there's many ways you can heal after a breakup, but perhaps the most important thing you can do is recategorize this person in your heart and mind. Because when you thought they were the one, they end up taking a place in your heart and your mind, and thus you have an emotional attachment to them because of the bond you thought you were going to have forever. So if you were in a serious relationship, it's natural to think, I'm probably going to marry this person one day. But when you don't, there's still that residue, that feeling of this is the one. And so when you see them dating someone else or when they move on, it hurts your heart because it feels like your person is with somebody else. But the truth is, when you really understand what the one is, you'll know that your person's not with someone else. Because the way I use the phrase the one is the person God has planned for you to marry. God has a good plan for your life. God knows who you're going to marry. He has planned who you're going to marry. So if you aren't married to this person, that means they are not the one. It is impossible to not be married to your one because you're only the one when you are married. Another way to put it is that when you dreamed about the person God has for you, I know that you did not think about being with someone who didn't want to be with you, because naturally God created us to want to be with someone who wants to be with us. And if that person is with someone else, that means they are not the one. That is not the person you dreamed about, the person you hoped God would give you one day, because they don't have that essential first quality of being with you. So when you recategorize that person from the one to not the one, this person is not the one. That is the label I am now giving them. I am taking back the label of they are the one, and I am giving them a new label in my heart and mind. They are not the one. that is a huge step that will help you move on and not be hurt when they move on as well. When God reveals the one, you both will have a mutual love for each other. You will be one in your love for each other. If you want more relationship advice from a biblical perspective, make sure you're subscribed to the channel and give this video a thumbs up so it can spread to other people who might need to see it. I'm Mark from ApplyGodsWord.com. Until next time, God bless.